Hello. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me and see me? Hi. This event is basically going to be streaming, and I just wanted to know who are the attendees who have joined in. We had around 30 registrations, and if you guys can introduce yourselves, it would be great. Or write it in the chat box. So this session is basically around why soft skills are essential and important in today's world. As we all know, according to the skill survey, more than 77%, of the HR professionals believe that soft skills are essentially more important than hard skills, and they prefer students having soft skills over hard skills while choosing their direct recruitment, right? Essentially, why are they important? Uh, let's start with this. There is a gap, right, in the current scenario in the country. There is a skill gap which is there, and basically, what international candidates or companies keep something in mind, right? That they want a candidate having certain set of skills, which involves communication. Number one. So, what is communication? So, communication is not speaking English, right? Communication is essentially being able to effectively tell the other individual what you mean to say. Where all the communication skills come into play during your interview preparations. Most people, when doing their interview preparations, are basically unable to communicate properly, and because of that, they are unable to get a hold of the job. So even though they know the skill set, even though they know the technology, even though they know the subject matter, the only reason that they fail or not able to get in is because of their bad communication skills, due to which they're not able to give a good interview and thus fail. So communication skills is a very important factor. Excuse me. Other than that, personality development, right? So think about it this way. You are working in a team, right? And I'm sure each one of you would want to, at some point in your life, reach somewhere where you can basically take hold of individuals, right? Or have a team which looks up to you. So, this is where a personality development comes into perspective. If you have a good personality, people will look up to you, which will eventually, be really good for you as a person. People will look up to you as a leader. You will be promoted to a managerial role. So if you want to be someone who wants to go ahead in their life fast, have a fast career progression, then soft skills are extremely important because they help you reach that height, right? And they're essentially important, and all companies take this into perspective. Many companies also train their employees and have regular soft skill development sessions. Do you know that CEOs and CXOs of every company go through a particular set of skill training sessions, especially in soft skills, which includes public speaking, personality development, how to present, right? Presentation skills. Again, people don't know how to use their body language. People don't know how to convey different character in different situations. Suppose I am, working in so and so company, and I am basically going to represent my company somewhere, right? So if I'm going to a place where I have to do a deal, I have to come up, sorry, as an approachable person, right? While if I go to another place where I have to not make a deal, but rather be very confident. So my character has to be bold. So basically, you have to know where to present yourself in what way in order to get the right benefit out of it. Soft skills are essentially that as well. So, most importantly, we need soft skills in the long run to establish a good career for ourselves. What are the other soft skills that we have? The other soft skills that we can think about are also teamwork, right? So people are not able to work in teams, they want to work alone, but that cannot be possible, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to work in a team, you have to work with the team. And how to work with people is, working with people is not a very easy task, let me tell you. Working with people requires a lot of patience. You have to know how to deal with versatile people from different backgrounds, right? So you have to be adaptable, right? And that's extremely important as well, and it's a very important soft skill which is going to help you in the long run. So that skill is also essentially very, very important, you know. So that's why I would say that we have to definitely take that up, as another skill in our ongoing sessions, right? So that's another skill which you should definitely work on. Other than that, resilience, right? In the current COVID scenario, people are not resilient, right? That's the reason that there are so many suicides happening. I've heard of people throwing off their children to the balconies. All these things are happening. People don't have the resilience, right? What does resilience mean? Resilience means that to have strength of confidence, or to hollow back from situations, right? Like, suppose something happens with you, you go to a manager or you attend a meeting, right? And you fail without due to some reasons that you couldn't, get the deal. So instead of having anger towards that individual, you should have to bounce back from the situation and become normal, right? That's also very important, resilience, because if you don't have resilience in the long run, you will not be able to survive in the world, right? Because setbacks are always going to be there. You have to get over it, and you have to stay at a pace where you can go ahead in life. So that's another thing, right? Resilience is a very important soft skill. uh, then time management. People don't know how to manage their time, right? Most people say that we're working till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the night, but what they don't say is that they have not been utilizing the hours of the day, right? So time management. How do you manage your time? How do you manage your work? How do you manage your studies? Right? This is another thing which is extremely important, and which, as individuals, we need to understand and we need to imbibe in ourselves, that how to manage our time. Suppose I have 10 hours in a day, right, and I have to 5 tasks. I have to create a task timeline for myself, create milestones, etc., and basically create a graph penetration that in these number of days, how do I reach this particular situation. So soft skills are able to teach you that as well, how to manage your time, right, and how to optimize your time to do maximum number of tasks. I, being a very good multitasker, right, when I was a kid, I think when I was around from fifth grade itself, I used to go to school. I used to play badminton. I was learning classical dancing. I was learning Carnatic music also, and also I was a part of a public speaking club. So how did I manage to do so many things? It was all time management, right? I learned how to manage my time, and in my case, I had a mentor from childhood, which my father aligned with me, and it really helped me. So the faster you start off, right, with your soft skills, stronger you become in them, right? I started off early when I was a kid, when I was a fifth grader, and yes, so now I know how to optimize my time. I know how to project my personality. I know how to speak in front of a crowd. I don't feel scared about it. And I even know how to do impromptu speaking, which is a skill in which you're given a topic, and then just a fraction of 2 minutes, you have to be able to speak about it for 2 minutes, right? So you don't even have time to prepare. So I'm able to do such things because I started off early, right? And uh, also, to give you a perspective, as we know that the youth of our what just happened? Yeah, okay, I'm really sorry for that. So, think about it that in the international scenario, if each one of us are saying we don't have jobs, we don't know what to do ahead. But do you actually know that in the international market, there's so many jobs that are there, and many of the Chinese people, because of whatever happened, the coronavirus outbreak, the international companies are preferring Indians, but where do we lack is that we don't have soft skills. I'm not only talking about students, but I'm talking about even mid-level to senior level executives, right? People are wanting to give their projects to Indian companies, but we lack soft skills, right? Which is an extremely important thing abroad, right? People will never take you into a company either as an employee or even to provide services, or even if you're a startup and if you want to work with them, if you are not uh, having the right soft skills, if you're not able to negotiate, and if you don't know how to project or present your product, right? So that's essentially a very important soft skill, and if at a student level you're able to learn it, it's really going to have an immense impact in your life. So moving on to the next set of skills, right? The next set of skills include decision making, right? So what is decision making? Right from whether it's ninth grade, right? We have to make big decisions in life. Should I take uh, social sciences? Should I take arts? Should I take science? Right? We have to make decisions. Usually, what we do as children or as students is that we leave the decision to our parents. But is this right? No. We have to learn the art of decision making, because decision making is extremely important, and over time you require it. So according to a survey, more than 70% people make the wrong decisions in life, right? So learning or knowing how to make a right decision is in itself an art which has to be learned over time. Hence, we as individuals need to learn this art, which is soft skills, and it can be understood and learned, right? Through our sessions in which we interact with you, we understand you, we are able to basically define that, create that scenario in which you have to make decisions in. Basically, the more you practice something, it's just like science and maths, even public speaking, like that. You have to learn it. It's an art, like it's a creative thing. You have to learn it, and you can do it well. There's nothing like if you're an introvert, you cannot speak well. Everyone can speak well. Trust me, I've seen people. My brother was really introvert. He still is, but he speaks extremely well, right? So he went through this training session on soft skills. He was able to understand that the cues on how to basically effectively speak, and he was able to communicate well. So being an introvert doesn't matter, right? You can still be a good communicator. You have to learn the skill, right? It's just like science or maths, or creative writing, right? You have to understand it, you have to learn the cues, you have to practice it over time. The faster or the earlier you start, the faster you will be able to understand these skills and make them a part of your life. And they're extremely important. Let me tell you again, even C-suite and mid-level executives are trained in soft skills. If this was not important, this would have never happened. Companies spend around up to 50 lakhs uh, quarterly, that is in 6 months, just to train their employees in soft skills, right? So this is the importance of this skill, and over time it's gaining. Now when everything is online, and you have no people working in office, only if you come up as a leader or you're able to influence people will they work for you. And I think soft skills have become even more important at this time of COVID crisis, right? Essentially. So again, that's another decision making. So then we have negotiation skills. I'm not sure how many of you have done MUNs, right? Which is Model United Nations. So MUNs essentially help us to understand negotiation skills, and we have a similar model, at Mentorbox, where through putting you through that situations and understanding, we make you practice negotiation skills. So where do negotiation skills come into picture? When you go into any managerial role, and at a higher, even when you're a software engineer, right, at some point you have to get services from other clients. You have to work with other people, where you have to negotiate deals. So in a negotiation situation, you have to start with the come to a particular number, come to a particular set of products, at what cost you'll be, and you have to influence the other person. So all these skills, right? How to get things done, how to negotiate and come to a point where you both will have, be having a fruitful collaboration is another thing that has to be learned. And actually, this is a job portfolio. If you know about it, corporate partnerships is and alliance management is actually a different portfolio itself. So if you have good negotiation skills, you can actually go for this portfolio as an individual, right? So that's another extremely good soft skill that you should really learn. Other than that, I would say that conflict management, right? We all already know that there are a lot of conflicts going around us, between our friends. How do you manage conflict? So the thing is that when you reach a position of power, or when you reach or have a stand in your life, right? You have to learn to um, manage conflicts in a very seamless way, right? Especially in team. It's just a subset of teamwork. So, learning how to manage conflicts is extremely important. In what situation, how you have to manage it, and what is the best way to, get things done is another important skill, conflict management, which we teach as part of our program. So, essentially, these are some of the skills, right, that we are targeting. And we are targeting that, we reach as many students, because why we are targeting students is that uh, it's that time when you can learn the most, right? When as you get old, your creativity, your power to learn, it decreases. If you learn this fast, you can really use it. You can become a great YouTuber. You can become a part-time public speaker. In your job profile, it will amazingly help you. Let me tell you, you will be able to get amazing interviews. You'll never have problem with interviews. You'll never have problem with getting job interviews again. Because you're a good speaker, you have good okay, yeah, networking. I didn't, get to that. So networking is another skill which people are extremely weak at, right? Networking is a skill which is extremely important, right? So I don't know why, but people, go on Naukri and they feel that, they'll put up their resume and they're going to get selected somewhere. Let me tell you, it's very rare, okay? Good jobs never, never get good jobs through that. So building a profile, networking to people, getting the right audience engaged with you is extremely important, right? And over time, you do that. So learning how to network, how to work with people, and how to project yourself, right? How to even write an email. I've been working with the people who are from B schools, and still they don't know how to write an email. So that's it's really sad. You That's really sad. Okay, so that has to also be learned. How to write an email is an essentially very important thing, right? And it's a part of networking. So how you have to basically write content to engage the other individual when having a conversation, even on chat. That's also a networking skill. And if you're able to get that, you will be able to reach out to any person in the world, no matter what. So I think these are some of the skills. So our program is basically designed in 10 modules, right? We have 10 modules in which we have two per skill that you're weak at. So first, what we do is that we do your profiling. You go through a particular assessment test. We understand that which skills are you weak at. Okay, in these 10 sessions, the skills which you are weak at, we give you an extra session for each, and then the rest of the skills. So overall, we cover 10 skills, right? Which I have just gone through. And through our program, we want that over a period of 3 months or to 4 months, you will be able to initially become just a little good at, if you're not already good at the skill. Within 6 months you will be able to see a drastic change, and within 1 year you will be able to say that yes, I know these skills, and yes, I can project myself in a correct way. Through just this 1 year program, you can actually learn these skills. And actually, when people ask me that you're offering a pricing for your mentorship or soft skill, I tell them that actually the skills I'm teaching, right, they are not going to affect, as this costing is a very small amount compared to the impact it's going to have in the students or the individual's life. His life is going to really change, because when your personality is good, the perspective with which people see you is very different. Hi, yeah. So I would just like to say that, uh, yeah. So that's it from my end, right? Where I wanted to just go through that. So if you guys have any doubts regarding, what our programs are, how do we teach it, I can, walk through that. But essentially, we just teach these skills, and within 1 year time, we guarantee that you have some impact in your life with these skills, and you're able to learn them well. And as I've already said, the impact is immense, right? Over time, you'll understand that how these skills are going to really change your life, how they're going to make you more of a personality, right, than an individual. Secondly, you can do a lot of part-time stuff if you don't want to leave your job. In your job, you're going to get anyhow a lot of praises if you have these skills, right? Your career will get accelerated at a very fast rate because these are the skills essentially required, right? Other than the hard skills. So most people really don't care. Like they will always prefer a person having soft skills rather than hard skills because it's a better requirement, right? Also, we work on your career building profile, right? People don't even have a good profile. I mean, they don't even know how to list their skills. And essentially, because of this, they lose out on a lot of uh, good opportunities. It's not their skill sets. They don't know how to project it. If you don't know how to market yourself, you'll never be able to actually go ahead in life, right? Because see, I am a recruiter. I don't know you personally, right? How will I know that you're good at XYZ? You're good at data structures or algorithms. You're not able to answer in an interview because of your bad communication skills, right? You cannot blame the interviewer because he's also human, right? You have to be able to speak out what you want to say. And that's why communication skills are extremely important everywhere, not only interviews, everywhere, even in jobs, even in uh, normal personal life, right? It's it always gives you an edge if you have good communication skills and overall good soft skills, right? So yeah, so that's what I have. So I'm just opening up the floor for questions, so that I can close it after that. So if any of the attendees have questions, you can just let me know in the chat box. Yeah, just let me know if you have any questions, and I can take them up on chat. Uh, this session is going to stream on Facebook Live, and anyone wants to check it out again, they can, right? Okay, so there's a question: how to disagree with somebody without being rude? Okay, so it's a good question, right? So basically, this comes under conflict management, right? So basically, we all have difference of opinions, right? And it's human, okay? And how do you manage that? So you have to be, have the right thought skill. Again, I say that the approach, right? You have to tell it in a way that is subtle, okay? Which you have to make the person understand in a way which is subtle, which doesn't come out as being very bold or being very so it's all about the tone again, okay? A part of communication skills is your tone, your voice tone, right? So your voice tone differs according to the situation. Like now I'm speaking in front of you guys, right? I'm basically public speaking in short. So my tone of voice is different. Now if I go to a individual, right? Or if I'm speaking to a child, so the tone in which I'll speak is different, okay? So there are different tones or modulations you speak with, okay? And the tone of the voice, if you change it even a little, right, it gives a different impact. So that's what I say. You have to be subtle. That means the tone in which you say, the tone in which you make the other person understand, and manage that conflict has to be different. And then that way, you have to tell it subtly and make the other person understand your point of view, and to make him understand that, and also say that you should never be, you should always be neutral in such situations. Never take a side that no, I'm right, always right. You have to be neutral. You have to say yes. I appreciate your point of view. Always use positive words, and through that, manage the conflict, and don't spoil your relations with the person. Right? It's always important that you maintain relations with people, no matter what, because again, right, anyone can help you at any point of time. And even as a manager, it's very important. So most managers, especially in India, right? Most of the, if you have seen, most of the CEOs or CXOs are not of Indian residents, right? They go to the US to do an MBA there, and then they become CEOs or CXOs. It's rare to find it directly in India of any MNCs. The reason is that people here, they are not taught soft skills properly, right? And people learn that when they go outside, and hence they are then appointed, because this is a skill that we all lack and we need to really learn it, right? That how to manage people, and not come up to them rudely, how to behave with different types of people, and basically resolve things in a very positive attitude, which is very important. Okay, Sai, thank you for the question. So if you have a team, suppose, right, and in a team you have six people, so I think if there's a question like when do you have to host an event, out of 10 people, if two people will say 13th of December, some will say 15th, right? So you have to come up on a consensus, right? How do you take that? Take a vote between people, right? Say that if maximum number of people are saying on 14th, right? So let's go for that. So there are various ways to, solve conflicts or manage teams. So creating that positive attitude, and always be approachable to your team members. That's another thing. If you're approachable to your team members, they will never, ever feel that you are creating a conflict with them. So always be, number one, positive. Number two, secondly, always ask people through these modules of, let's take a vote, let's see what everyone feels. uh, since we are a team, we'll come up on a consensus. You have to make them feel that you're trying to, understand their opinion and trying to also bring it to the table. It's not like you don't have to force your opinion on people. That's important, right? Working with a team. So personally, I believe is that when you do that, your team members work for you because they want to, right? So you don't have to force your work on a team. Your team members should work for you because you're a good leader, and you take into perspective their point of view also, which is very important. And I think that should answer your question. How to deal with conflict, right, with my teammates. Thanks. How to boost self confidence and self esteem. Thank you, Anjali. Yeah. So, how to boost self confidence and self esteem. See, I see there's a lot of negativity, right, happening currently, and I think what works for me is that you should have some time to for yourself. When people say you meditate and pray, right, they're not telling you something because of it's a norm or something. It actually works. You have to basically understand your own self. Self confidence comes from within, right? Self esteem comes from within, right? So you have to first of all understand yourself, right? So we basically have this package at Mentorbox called understanding your human potential, right? Because most people don't do well in life because they don't understand their own self. When you understand your own self, you will be able to uh, be more confident, right? So why are you not confident? See, you're not confident either because you think you're not good at something, right? It can be that you lack confidence because you think some people are better than you. So there can be various reasons. So first, don't ever compare yourself, right? You have your own skill sets. Everyone is good at something. So basically, first I would recommend is that understand your inner self. Pray for some 5 minutes a day. It gives a lot of solace and peace. Uh, and helps boost your confidence. Secondly, that understand your skills and don't compare yourself to people. So your low self confidence is because of basically somewhere you feel that you are not better than someone, or because of those reasons. So upskill yourself. Suppose you feel you're not a good speaker, you're not good at something. If you're not good at coding, you have to learn. I mean, work hard and do that. See, if having low esteem is not going to change anything, right? You have to work towards building that confidence in a way, in whatever way you can, right? So building that confidence is extremely important, and you should work towards that in the long run. So the focus should be on that, and that then your confidence will be high when you know that I know this, I know that. Then your confidence will be very high, because then you will be able to uh, also give out the best, because you are confident about your abilities. I have learned this, I have studied this properly, I've practiced this. So work towards your uplifting yourself rather than and I think, yeah, you have to go through these sessions, right? Having a mentor, as again I said, it's going to be like I am telling you these things. Suppose I used to have a mentor. David Metzler was my mentor for some time. So he used to always say that, if you want to be at a position in life where you're not at a time, then in that case, what you have to do is you have to find someone who is at that position, and he can tell you the best way of reaching there, right? Because he's gone through those ups and downs. So I think that, and for in my life, I had a couple of mentors, and I was really happy. Each one of them taught me something very different. So again, that's the whole point of having mentor box. That giving building that confidence when you know someone is there for you, right? So that's another question. So uh, how to introduce ourselves in the best way in situations like interviews and others. I think introducing yourself should be in a way that depends on what you are. Be very short and crisp, okay? Like suppose I'll talk about myself. I'll be like, I am Anapurna Monga, founder and CEO at Mentorbox India. Currently, I am taking sessions for students and young professionals and helping them build themselves. So this is like a short and crisp description. And suppose if you're a student, you can say, "Hi, I'm so since you are at a very young level, so you say that, hi, I'm Anjali, a student at PSIT, and I'm a confident individual having following skill sets, and in the last, just give a small disclaimer about your extracurriculars. I love to play badminton." So you have to come out as an approachable individual when you start off an interview, in short. So thank you, Mukti, and see how to manage your work life balance. See, again, that's a part of time management, right? Pressure is something very internal, right? So pressure is in the mind, it's not actually there. So you have to basically know understand that fact first, that pressure is just a phenomena which is happening, just like a volcano eruption happens, right? Or steam comes out of water. So it's there, okay? It's there. How to get over it? Practice other activities, go for a walk, play a game, right? Spend time with your family. Why is that important? Why in the Western scenario they have an emphasis on personal time? It's because it's extremely important. The pressure building will decrease only when you are able to spend some quality time with your family or have some positive atmosphere around you, right? So I think that should be how you are able to, get. So I understand, okay, for some people, for ladies as well, family also creates a pressure. So have something, to do, like whether it's singing, taking some sessions, do some yoga sessions, do some Zumba, do something which, enlightens you, which makes you happy. Watch a movie with your spouse, anything. But it's going to, have an impact in you, bring that positivity in you as an individual. So I think that should be one way, to handle the pressure. Uh, Disha, how to deal with where you don't get along with college? Again, see, the thing is that it's not about people don't get along with each other because you have to understand each other's point of view, right? So that's why they don't get along with each other, because I don't want to understand B and B doesn't want to understand A, right? And then the conflict, they say that I'm not getting along with my teammates. So when such a situation comes, always think it this way. This is how I do it. Put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? जिसके साथ conflict है, right? And then think that, okay, if I was in his or her shoe and I had this question in mind, how would I have reacted? Okay. And if you think that yes, his reaction is right, then or her reaction right, then that means that then you should understand that, okay, probably I was also at fault, and you have to say sorry. And if you think no, his or her reaction was wrong, you have to make the other person understand, and in a subtle way. Okay, you don't have to shout, you don't have to be rude, you have to tell them that, hey, I understand you overreacted or your behavior was not good. So see, the point is that people don't overreact or have bad behavior. It's tell me, is it a normal thing to shout? Okay, and in normal scenario people don't do that. It's he or she is having some personal issues, must be having something going on. That's why that overreaction comes up, and that's the reason that the conflicts happen. Because we have to understand from the other person's perspective also. That's why I said that always do that. And if still you feel the other person is wrong, then reach out to the person, ask him or other what has happened. Try to, okay, if you think what doing is not right, and if you have another perspective, tell me what is your perspective. I'll try to understand that. So that is how it has to be dealt with. So yeah, thank you, Sai, and thank you so much for joining in, guys. So I think we're done. It was for 40 minutes, and it was amazing. I was really happy that I could add value to your time. And yeah, if you want to go for any of our sessions, right, we also have sessions on stress management and mental wellness, right, where we try to make people understand that what is the perspective, right, what is the right way to approach problems, situations, and get out of them. And so we're trying to basically help people out through all our sessions, whether it's through soft skills for students and young professionals, to help them accelerate their career. Because what I feel is that technical capabilities are difficult to learn. You have to really practice them, but soft skills you can learn. But people tend to take these skills very, they take them for granted, and they lose out because of that. And after an age you cannot learn soft skills, right, because it has to be learned at a young stage. Just like ABC, right, just like walking. So I think that's why I say start early. I mean, I'm thankful to my family, where they, taught me all these skills. Whether I went for public speaking classes, I went for dance, I went for creativity. So all these skills help me a lot, right? For my holistic. Again, people say they have stress. When you know how to sing, right? Just that singing, this singing along when you're stressed can change your life. So that's how you have to manage. And so yeah, thank you so much, guys, again, and thanks a lot. Take care. Take care. Have a great day. Bye. Bye. Have a great day.